Hey guys, Alec, Peirce, Scuba Tech Tips. This is a BC. Now you may not recognize it because this is an old BC. This BC is probably 30 years old. But it is a BC. BCs today, as you know, are tank mounted so that it doesn't look like this anymore. But the principle and what I'm going to share with you today is exactly the same. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is simple. Look at the guy, one of my viewers, thank you very much. I love your comments, most of them, asked me if he could repair his BC. He said, I have a BC, it's an older BC, I've had it for 15 years, I love it, it works perfectly and it fits great, but it's got a leak in it. There's air leaking out, through the wall, through the side of the BC. You can't figure it out. Normally you get leaks, it's in this mechanism of some sort, there's a leak in the O-rings and so on. But in this case, it was coming right out through the material. Well, there's only one possible reason for that, and that is the bladder. That is the sealed portion that's supposed to hold the air in the BC has got a leak in it. And that can happen in many, many ways. If you don't rinse it very, very carefully, and I hope you're listening to me out there, whoever asked this question, if you don't rinse your BC really, really carefully, BCs by their very nature get salt, sand, everything inside them, just in the normal operation. Hence, so many times I have said in several of my videos deal with cleaning the BC properly, you must rinse and rinse and rinse and rinse. And then when you finish rinsing, rinse it one more time. Blow it up and dry it. If you take good care of a BC, it will last a long, long time. Even though it's made of, it's made of cloth and nylon, and it means like a pair of jeans, which are not supposed to last forever. But if you take care of it, it will. If you don't take care of it, it won't. It's really that simple. Anyway, in this particular case, if it's leaking out through the bladder, through the seams of the actual item itself, the bag itself, then somehow or other, there's been an abrasion inside. Not a cut, but it's been abraded and worn through. So you need, first of all, to find that, and then you need to repair it. Finding it is not too terribly difficult. Blow it up hard, put some water on it, get it wet, and you should be able to pinpoint fairly quickly where that leak is. Repairing it is a different story entirely. First of all, let me explain that there's a difference between an older BC like this and the newer BCs. Older BCs had a heavy nylon cover, this orange thing on here. And then inside of that cover, they had a vinyl bag. You see it in there? Can I open this a bit more maybe, Kevin? No, the zipper's stuck. So they have a vinyl bag. You see here. Sometimes it's clear, sometimes it's yellow, sometimes it's brown, but this is vinyl. They have fancy names for it, polyvinyl chloride and monosyllabic, whatever, but it's vinyl. It's plastic. It's like a pool liner or a Ziploc bag, same stuff, okay, on the inside. And that's the actual item that is airtight. This is not airtight. It's just canvas. This is what's airtight. So this is the older style of BC. They were all like that for many, many years. Now, in the last, oh gosh, it's getting on to 15 to 20 years, BCs have changed. What they do now is they make the BC, this really pretty cover, out of a good solid nylon material, and then they coat that material with PVC on the inside so that this material becomes airtight and waterproof. And then they make the BC and they seal the seams together with heat. So this is what's called a double bagger. No jokes, Kevin. And the new BCs are single bladder or single baggers. You only have one sealing surface. This has the outer cover and an inside bag, if you like. If your BC is one of these, it can be repaired. If your BC is a modern BC, less than 15 or 20 years old, and it does not have this bladder in it, and it's very, very difficult, if not impossible to repair. How do you tell which it is? Well, very simple. If it is a bladder, it's a double bagger, has a bladder inside, there has to be some way to get to that bladder. And the most common way is with a zipper, and the most common location is around the neck. So if you look around the neck of your buoyancy compensator, see it? And there's a zipper there. If there's a zipper there, then you unzip that zipper and reach inside and pull out the bladder. Just that simple. Now you open the zipper all the way, and you can take the bladder entirely out. All the way out. If you can't get it all the way out and you can't reach the leak, well, take these bits and pieces, these accessories off. They all come off. They're not hard. They all just unscrew them. That one's tight. Take them all off, and all those things will come off your BC, and now eventually you'll have disconnected everything, and you'll pull the whole bladder out. You may not need to. You may be able to find the leak fairly easily. If you can get enough of that bladder pulled out, oh, there's the leak right there, and you're lucky. Now what do? Well, you patch it. Now, right now, let me stop right now, okay, and explain to you that the manufacturers of buoyancy compensators tell you that they are not repairable. If the bladder or the BC itself tears, gets a leak in it, it's not repairable. Many now will carry a lifetime warranty, or a very long warranty anyway, so they're very confident in the material, in their construction, so much so that if it does get a leak in the actual BC, the bag itself, many cases they'll replace it for you. It's not repairable. Now there's two reasons why they say it's not repairable. First of all, they want you to buy a new one. If it's got a hole in it, chances are it's old, it's time for a new one, can't be repaired. You know the story, okay? And the other reason they say it can't be repaired is that there's a bit of liability involved here. It's like a tire on a car, okay? It used to be very commonly, when I started driving in the 60s, everybody had a spare tire. Everybody had a jack. Many people carried patches, not everybody. Everybody had a wrench. And if you had a flat tire, which was quite common. If you drove on any highway, anywhere in North America, for more than an hour and a half, almost guaranteed you see some poor bugger on the side of the road with a flat tire. Oh, I'm guaranteed. Car, truck, trailer maybe. Flat tires were quite common. Today, no. I don't know what they've done. But the tires today last a long time. You hardly ever see anybody anymore on the side of the road changing their tire. And hence things have changed in the vehicle as well. You don't get spare tires. Some cars have no spare tire, nothing. Some have one of those little compact tires, you know. They're good for 50 kilometers at 50 miles at 50 miles an hour, something like that. Small little tires you can put on temporarily. But some have none. And you tell me, think about it right now, where's your jack? And where's the wrench or the wheel nuts? You see, it just doesn't happen anymore. So it's a little bit the same way. We don't patch tires anymore. There was a bit of an issue with patching tires anyway. I know myself when I was young, my first car back in the 60s, it was old and beat up, and the tires had more patches than tread. Wasn't safe. And the same applies to these. So this is not something that's in any books. So how am I saying you can do it? Well, I'm Alec Peirce. I can fix anything. And I have discovered many years ago that if you get yourself a vinyl repair kit, well, how logical is that? Vinyl repair kit, or a pool kit. If you have a pool, you almost invariably have a pool repair kit, which should be called a vinyl repair kit. And in that vinyl repair kit, you'll find pieces of vinyl, and you'll find some glue, special glue, and instructions on how to clean this surface with alcohol and make sure it's spotlessly clean, how to put the glue on, how to cut the material, how to put it on under weight for a period of time until you have repaired the vinyl. Okay, just that simple. A pool repair kit or a vinyl repair kit, that's all you need. And it works really well. Now, let me tell you this. It's a repaired BC. So go easy. If it has a hole in it once, the BC, that liner, has been compromised. There's a good chance it has other spots that are getting weakened as well. So I'm not saying not to trust your repair, but keep in mind it's a repaired BC. So conduct your diving accordingly. Use the BCD, everybody does these days, but just keep in mind that it's been repaired, so don't be doing deep, silly dives on your own, and keep close to shore so that there's emergency help available if the BC doesn't work. Of course, keep in mind your buoyancy control and the weights and all that important stuff. But there you go. That's how you repair a buoyancy compensator. Not that difficult, and just keep in mind that it may not be perfect. Okay, guys? And to the chap who asked about that, thank you for your comment, and hopefully you'll be able to repair your BC and keep it for a few more years, your favorite BC. I know about that stuff. Okay, there you go. How to repair your BC. Alec Peirce. Scuba Tech Tips. Talk to you soon.